This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Welcome back to What's Up Waco, the podcast that loves to introduce you to the people, the places, and the properties that make Waco an excellent community to live. Hey everybody, welcome back to What's Up Waco with Erica Boisvert, your local real estate agent and small business advocate. And today I am joined by Victoria Smith, owner of Dreamy Picnics. Hello.
Hi.
You're like, hey.
Hey.
Hey lady, how are you today?
Hey, I am thriving. It's
Yes.
cold.
It is about to be worse.
I know.
I think we hit this at the prime time.
Not ideal for picnics.
No,
Not
yeah.
ideal.
Yeah, I wondered about that. So as I was kind of like prepping for this interview, I thought to myself, of all the states to have an outdoorsy business, this must present some very unique challenges being here in Texas.
You know, I regret sometimes as I'm setting up in 100+ degree weather and I'm dripping sweat and like, here's your beautiful picnic.
Drip, drip.
You know,
Yeah.
It is what it is. We're Texans. We love it. It's fine. You're from California, so you don't have to deal with that. But your body has probably adjusted by now.
We're way adjusted.
Yeah.
Yeah, other people come here and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so hot. I'm like, oh,
No.
not yet. Like,
No.
if you
it's
think
fine.
this is hot, don't come back in August.
Exactly. And August was one of my busiest months.
This
Like,
year or last year?
Yeah, last year. Besides October, but August was popping. And
Really?
I was like, no one's going to book in August. No one. Not one person.
JK.
Joking. Yep.
That's so
It
funny.
did. And I was so shocked because I was like, who wants to sit outside in that?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently people do. But
Apparently
I
they're
can
all
do
about
them
it.
indoors. And I always
Yes.
offer indoors. And I'm like, let's do it indoors because that is going to be ideal and it's going to be more fun.
But I think
But-
some of your setups are so, like when you do it over by the Brazos, like that is
Yeah.
so pretty. So just for people, this is an audio show. So she literally sets up these beautiful picnic settings, like Pinterest worthy, gorgeous, and along the river or just in these beautiful places. I like the river setup. That's my
Me
favorite
too.
because it's so pretty. But yeah, I would think that would be hard
Yeah.
with the
it gets hard.
temperature changes here.
Yeah, especially right now because it's like one day it's 75 and then the next weekend it's 30. And then you're planning this picnic when it was supposed to be 75 and then it's 30. But
Yep.
it's okay. We're flexible. We can move it inside.
Yes.
It's not a big deal.
You have backup plans.
Have backup plans or you just reschedule for a better time
There you go.
that you can hope and pray that it's a better time.
Fingers crossed. You really never know with Texas
You don't.
weather.
You don't. Which is like every time my husband's always like, it's supposed to rain this week. I'm like, no.
Is it though?
It won't because it says rain, but it's not during the time of my picnic.
Okay.
So it's fine. And I've had one where I set up the picnic. It was semi-cloudy. We're like, I asked if they wanted it under the covered porch. They're like, no, it's okay. I'm like, okay, fine. We'll set it up regular. I walk away, drive down the road, and it started drizzling. And then I turned back around. We moved everything under the covered porch in like 5 minutes
Okay.
because it started drizzling. I leave. It stopped drizzling.
Of course it did.
I was like, okay, well, this is what picnics are. But picnics are fun, and everyone loves picnics. And
For sure, yeah.
I got the idea from Pinterest.
Yeah. Well, good job.
Thank
You
you.
have met that standard and exceeded it. So what? Okay, this is something I wanted to talk to you about. And as many times as we have talked, I've never just been like, okay, where did this idea come from? What was the brainchild? What birthed this? I'm going to set up picnics for people to celebrate things.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely a different concept for a lot of people because I get this question a lot.
Okay.
So you're not the only one to think
I'm just
that.
late to the game.
No, I get it a
It's fine.
lot because people will be like, well, where did you even think of this? I haven't seen it before, especially when they're walking along the river and they see me setting up. And I'll be like, okay, well, it started with the idea because I used to work in visual merchandising. I loved being creative. I loved the idea of like just creating beautiful things.
Okay.
And then I had kids, so I didn't want to work in visual anymore, and I wanted to stay home with them.
Mm-hmm.
I was working for Stitch Fix, and I just felt like I was in a rut. I wanted something a little more creative, something else to spend my time doing.
Sure.
And then one day I went to my husband and I was like, I have an idea. Because I was just scrolling through Pinterest. It was about to be our anniversary. I was trying to like figure out what we should do. We didn't have a babysitter in Waco. So I was like, okay, we have to do something at home after our son goes to sleep, but I want it to be different.
Sure.
Went on Pinterest. I started seeing like the fancy picnics. And then it clicked in my head like, I could probably do that for people. And I set one up for my husband as like anniversary dinner.
Okay.
And it was cute. It was so fun. And then a couple days later I went to him and I was like, I have an idea. This is going to be great.
Guess
and then
what?
he got scared and he said, oh no, what's your idea? And then because every time I say that, it's either I want him to like do something in the
Right.
house and paint, or I have like just something
Just some crazy
I
idea,
wanna-
and you're like, let's
yeah,
go.
another new business idea.
I need you to be on board. Let's go.
Right? Yeah. So
Cute. But he is.
yeah, he is. No, he's so helpful, and he's
For
come in
sure.
clutch so many times, like carrying the heavy stuff,
No
or even
doubt.
like delivering things that I've forgotten at home. He's good.
I just laugh because if you don't know, her husband is what, 6'3",
Yeah, about that.
6'4", and
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah.
So I would see he would come in clutch with your business concept
Oh,
quite often.
well,
honey,
and
move
the
that
height,
table.
it's great because I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't reach that. Can you put this over that branch? Thanks. But
Thanks.
he's gotten good at setting them up now.
That's funny.
He knows like when to back off for the creative portion,
Okay.
but he knows when to like be hands on now.
That's
So I'm proud of him. But yeah, it
Okay, so
started because
you took him this idea, and he was like, "Ee."
Yeah. He was like, what are you talking about? I said, well, I'm going to start this picnic business because I think it'll be fun. I think Waco needs something like this. I think it'll just be something fabulous. And it's starting to be really trendy now. So I was like, I think it's on the rise.
Yeah.
And
First,
he's
yes.
he's like, okay, well, what do you need from me? I'm like, oh, nothing yet.
Yeah.
I just want to like know I have your support, and it's something I could bring the kids with because I'll be able to schedule it whenever I want, and it'll be great because with Stitch Fix I have to work a set schedule, but this I won't have to. I can work whenever. Little did I know, I wasn't thinking like, hey, I don't have this space for all this stuff in my trunk.
Yeah.
So I do bring the kids, but it is hard to bring the kids because they're only 4 and 2.
I was saying, and they're little.
Yeah, they're only
so while
4 and
you're
2.
setting up, they're like,
Yeah.
running
But
around having fun.
They give me the creative juices for all of these like kid nicks that I've created.
Yep.
And for the kid parties, because I'll test my stuff on them.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
And you get
So,
full feedback, I'm sure.
full
There's
feedback.
nothing held.
So
nothing held
honest.
back.
So honest. I made a slime the other day and I said, hey, Miles, do you like this? And he told me, no, it smells bad.
Oh.
I was like, well,
Thank you.
thank you, because I will not sell this now. So-
Right? Probably needed
And
to
I
hear
will
that.
take that slime off the roster.
No longer an option.
It's gone.
That's cool. So speaking of slime,
Yes.
your business started out as pretty picnics, proposals along the river,
Mhm.
fun anniversary surprises, and it has totally morphed into almost like an event planning business, it feels like.
Yeah.
Which, is that fair? Like, it's
yeah,
kind of grown
definitely
into
fair.
Okay, so
Definitely fair.
how did that all come about, and what do you like about that? What's your favorite part? Like, people listening are going to call and want to hire you. I hope that's part of the point of this, y'all. Give her a call. So what do you love to do, and what does that look like, that event planning portion?
Yeah, I think with picnics, it kind of started as, a 2 to 4 person thing. And then I started getting a lot of inquiries for like parties of 10 plus. And that becomes an event when it's
Yeah.
10 plus.
That's a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've always just kind of enjoyed, like I said, the visual styling, making things pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I always enjoyed parties for my son. So I started like doing balloons at my son's birthday. And then I was like, well, I can offer this with my picnics. I know
Mhm.
we have some amazing balloon artists in Waco. So
Right.
I like try not to overstep, boundaries there, but it's something I love doing too.
Sure.
So I offered that as an add-on service, and then I kind of started getting more feedback. Oh, we love your balloon setup. And then I started getting more arches, and then it kind of morphed
wow.
into like backdrop styling. And
Okay.
then
Yes.
people were like, oh, you do the backdrops, the balloons, the picnic table, you do it all. So like, can you just arrange more, like the bounce house and the
oh wow, okay.
charcuterie board.
I was gonna say, what about food and things like that?
Yes,
okay.
I don't do catering.
Okay.
I don't coordinate that. That is, you are on your own.
Okay.
But I will coordinate charcuterie or like a grazing table
Okay.
of sorts.
You have somebody that you like, resources that you're like, hey, come along, or do you do that?
No, I do not do
Like, I
that.
do not.
I outsource all
Okay.
of them to Paris Party Platters.
Yeah, good
She
call.
is so
Good call.
good.
Mm-hmm.
She does everything amazing, and they always taste so good. So,
Well, and everybody loves her too. So as soon as you
Yeah.
say who you're having,
yes.
they're like, okay, yeah, great.
yeah.
Probably would have called her anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think her prices are so fair.
Mhm.
Just because a few times I've had to like reach out to someone in Dallas or
Oh, gosh.
Austin to get a board, and it was almost triple what she was charging. So her prices are like beyond fair.
Well, I think that's another thing I love about Waco is that even though we have kind of like branched out a little bit and we have cool offerings, we're not quite yet at the 500,000 people mark.
Right.
So our prices still have to stay affordable, right?
Right.
Because Waco's still, it's a little big,
Right.
it's a little city. So that's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
And
So,
so,
I do all that, and then yeah. I was like,
and yeah.
it just goes, it kind of just like tumbleweed into coordinating. But now that I've done it all for I guess a year or so, I think where my heart is in the styling and
Okay.
like creating. So that's why I like to focus right now on my dreamy creation parties for the slime. And then I have DIY trucker hats where you put like
oh, yeah.
patches on a trucker hat. I also bought like a bunch of vintage brooches.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to put those on trucker hats now too.
So fun.
It's going to be fun.
So slime, trucker hats, all the things creative. You can just build it all. What do you find yourself doing more of? Has it kind of like fallen into any category of adults, graduations, kids parties? I know you've mentioned slime a couple times. Has it
Yeah.
kind of gone more towards that direction?
I think right now it's a lot of kids, a lot of first birthdays. That has been like a big thing is
Okay.
first birthdays. And then I would say like around the 10 to 14,
Okay.
maybe like high school for their party backdrops. It's a lot more styling right now. I also think that might just be because of the weather. It's
Okay,
more
that's fair.
styling.
Sure.
I have some bookings for March already, and they're all bachelorettes.
Ooh.
So,
oh,
and
we
I
are
think-
getting into that season.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, isn't spring at the silos? Isn't that March?
Oh, yeah, I think
so
it is.
I think
Somewhere around there.
maybe around that time,
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of bachelorettes come into town.
Okay. And do
So,
like their girl weekends
yes.
here. Okay.
Yes. So
Yeah.
then they book on Airbnb, and then I'm listed as an experience on Airbnb. So
What? How did you do that?
yeah,
That's magical.
yeah, it's fun.
You are an experience.
I am an experience. Well, so with Airbnb experience, you have to give the experience of your city to someone.
Oh, neat.
Um,
Okay.
So my thing is I give them an experience in beautiful Cameron Park. I don't offer
Yes.
it for any other locations. It's just at Cameron Park at
Okay.
Brazos East.
That makes
So,
sense.
Yeah. So I'm like, because I love that view the best personally. If I had to pick where to picnic in Cameron Park,
Mm-hmm.
that's reasonably easy to set up because there are beautiful other locations, but realistically, I can't take my wagon with my giant
Right.
table and all those pillows.
No,
And
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like there's sidewalks, so easier
Yeah.
access. And even when you're off the sidewalk, it's not that bad over there. And then there's the covered pavilion if you need
Yep.
it. Like it's a good little spot.
it is.
Okay.
And it's perfect
And
if
it's
you want to
pretty.
surprise someone because you can pretend you're taking them on a walk.
Yeah.
And you park on the opposite end of the park.
Okay.
Because I always drop a pin of where I'll be set up. So they can park at the opposite end of the park and they can walk down. And
Aw.
like we're just on a walk, and then they stumble upon the
And then
picnic. And joke's on you, it's for you.
nice. Guess what?
Yeah.
Yeah, gentlemen, if you're listening, I don't even know if I have any dudes that listen other than my husband. Hi, honey. This would be so fun for Valentine's Day, which is coming up
Mhm. Yeah.
very soon.
Very soon.
So that's a great, and like, what a fun way to make somebody feel special on their birthday.
Mhm.
Like, I love it because it can easily be one of those, oh, shoot, I forgot. Let's just go for a walk. Ha ha. Ha
Yeah.
ha ha. Just kidding. This is all set up for you.
Yeah. And I think people underestimate like how nice it is to sit down at a picnic all alone, exclusively, like just you and your significant other. Like,
Yeah.
there's something about it where you can reconnect. And that's why I kind of started too, was just I was able to connect with my husband again for, that hour or 2 hours that we were hanging out.
Yeah.
And I always include board games and then a speaker. So you can put on your favorite music. And then the board games just bring out like the kid in us. And I think
Sure.
it's so fun to
Well,
like,
what a good
reconnect with that.
idea. That's a great detail.
Yeah.
It gives people something to do just in case they're like,
Right?
what do we do?
Well, and how many times do you have board games at your house and you never play them?
Every day.
So, like, you're never going to be like, hey, honey, you want to go play that board game that we've been trying to play for 5 years?
Let's
No.
No. But Victoria rescues you and has them
Yeah.
at the picnic.
Yeah.
But that's also a really good point because, your traditional, let's go to dinner, or it's very distracting, especially in Waco where you're going to run into somebody, first
Yeah.
of all. So that can be distracting. And then just restaurants in general, like Scott and I, we have a hard time going to restaurants because our background is in restaurants. And so we end up going to like critique world, and like, oh, this could be, or, oh, this was great. And it's just not like the two of us, right?
Yeah. It's not as relaxing as it
Yeah,
probably
no,
should be.
yeah.
So maybe I'll need to do a picnic, but then you'll be like, oh, the sugar.
No, not at all. I'd be like, yes, I love food. I'm not by any means culinary critiquing. I'm critiquing service and ambiance.
Oh, got it.
That's
Got it.
my wheelhouse.
Okay.
So yeah, no, food.
Oh, and you can do that for hours.
Bring it on. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
It can go. But so I like the idea. You're right. It's just
Yeah.
like tunnel vision. It's just you two.
Mm-hmm.
Very
It's so
cool.
good.
Or, for a small group.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
A
too.
small group. Large groups are fun too. You came to my birthday party.
Yeah,
I threw myself
it was
a picnic,
fun.
and that
You
was
did.
a large group. So
It was. That was a lot. And I'm glad you brought it up because it was also like this cool. Taylor Swift would be so proud of you.
Thank
It
you.
was like this cool group of women who are clearly your friends, but also happen to be business owners or influencers of some way, shape, or form. And it was really neat to see everybody just kind of chat and connect in this beautiful space. And you fully had a theme. And it was a lot of fun to experience what you do, but then you did it for yourself. And you're like, yes,
Yeah.
this is my party.
Yes. Well, I knew I had to have a Taylor Swift theme.
Yes.
32, because I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 32.
I was going to say,
so,
now I've got 22 in my
Yeah.
head. It's going to go all day.
And I've
Fun.
just been in a whole Taylor Swift era for life. So I think eventually people will continue to book me for only Taylor Swift picnics and Taylor Swift themed decor.
Okay.
But until that day, I guess I'll branch out to other ones.
Just in case.
Just in case. someone
Although it
wants
is,
Taylor
you
Swift.
know, yeah, I'm not like a, I don't know how to say this. I'm not necessarily like a girl's girl.
Mhm.
So it was very refreshing to me. And it was very like, everybody was just so chill and down to earth and just really
Yeah.
there to celebrate you and have fun. But I think you create that.
Thanks.
You like curate these people.
Yeah.
And it's really neat to see who's
Thanks.
like not magnetized. What am I trying? Drawn to you. So
Aw.
magnetized.
Yeah.
But like, you know, your vibe attracts your tribe. And
Yeah.
that was a really, really cool group of people. I felt really
Oh,
it was
good.
nice. Thank
Thanks.
you for the invitation.
Thanks for the wine too.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'll always bring wine. Oh no, that was from Massimo. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah, that was.
Oh,
But I will always bring wine.
Yeah,
I might not
it's
pick
good,
it out,
though.
but I'll bring it.
Good.
Good. What else about your business would you like people to know? I think they should know how to get in touch with you for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely how to get in touch with me. So, and maybe let's touch on like my booking, how to book a picnic,
Yes.
because I think right now it's kind of hard because it is such a creative process and it does need to be kind of curated for the person's event or what they're looking for specifically.
Okay.
So, in order to book, the easiest way is go on my website,
Okay.
dreamypicnicstx.com.
Okay.
All my information, pricing for a majority of services, unless it's completely customized, pricing is typically on my website.
Oh, good. Okay.
Along with different packages. So I offer a variety of different packages that people can browse through. All you have to click on is our services.
Nice.
Crazy.
Okay. I didn't like this is so
Yeah.
silly, but I just follow you on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Well,
I mean,
I think that's what happens a lot is
Mhm.
a lot of people find me through social media. So they immediately think like, oh, I can book through social media. But it gets really difficult to keep track of like who I've messaged and who
Mhm.
I haven't, or what details need to be in there. So I like to have it all in email form.
oh yeah.
So when people are ready to book their picnic or if they have any questions, I always suggest creating a booking form and submitting that, because it doesn't mean you pay right when you submit it. You just start giving me all the details that I need, and then I
Okay.
can reach back out. And usually I reach back out within 24 to 48 hours.
Nice.
And I either give someone a call if it's a lot of detail, or I can send them a simple email and we discuss
Easy peasy.
a little bit of details, and then I
Okay.
send over an invoice, and once that's paid, you're all done.
planned.
Your work is done and the rest is on me, which is great because a lot of people takes the stress and ease off of them, especially proposals. These guys are already
Yeah.
so nervous.
Oh, yeah.
Like they
Aw.
don't need any other stress. So I'm always like, it's okay. We're fine.
Mhm.
Here is the pin,
Mhm.
and I will be hidden, semi creepily watching, because I love to see proposals.
Just so
and I
you
just
know.
cry in my car.
Aw.
That's fine. But yeah,
That's so cute.
it's easy on all ends, just
Okay.
to submit the form, and then we're done.
I love that you say just submit it and your work is done.
Yeah.
You're done.
That's it.
We've already discussed it. Moving on. That's
Yeah.
great. Okay, so if they want to be inspired and love your things, follow you on Instagram or social
Yes.
like I do, which is amazing. Dreamy Picnics. That's all right.
TX.
Oh, it is
Yeah.
TX on Instagram
Yeah.
too?
Someone
I don't
had
even know.
Dreamy Picnics, so I was really sad about that. So
Dude.
I have the TX at the end, but Dreamy Picnics TX
For everything.
for everything.
And then
Yep.
your website is the best place to schedule and book.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, hey.
Yeah.
All right, so we can do kids' parties, proposals, any kind of picnic,
Mm-hmm.
just a reconnect session with your significant other.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. And then experiences with Airbnb.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew
It's
you
fun.
set up at Brazos, but
I mean, it's essentially the same thing as my regular picnics. I think it just gives people from outside of Waco a little bit more opportunity to book with me.
no, I like that. And
Yeah.
I think it's something that, we talk about on the show is that unexpected bits of Waco. People, I don't think they realize Waco has such a big, huge park system
Mhm.
and how pretty it is.
Yes, it's so pretty.
It's beautiful over there.
yeah.
And so, because I know when we moved here, I was like, oh, I'm going to be away from water. I'm really sad about that.
Mhm.
Like the beach is not going to be 30 minutes away anymore. But there are so many rivers and lakes and ways to enjoy it here and that's, one of the best
I
ways.
had someone want to bring their kayaks. It ended up being too windy, so they couldn't.
No way.
But her original plan, she was surprising her best friend. I think they were best friends for like 21 years.
Oh,
She was surprising her best friend for her birthday, and she's like, okay, we're going to kayak up to the picnic. I was like, that's perfect, because I usually set up right outside the boat ramp.
oh yeah.
So here's the pin. This is where I'll be. And she was like, yeah, we're going to kayak. I'm fully expecting these women to kayak up. And I had an assistant with me who was waiting, because I always have someone waiting. If they're not by the picnic, they're like close by.
Uh-huh.
So they can just keep an eye on things
Sure.
while people are waiting. Because some people will come up and try and take a picture in the middle.
And you're like, no.
And you're like, it's not.
And this is
It's for someone who paid for it.
Right.
I'm so sorry.
this isn't a backdrop. This isn't a
but
photo
enjoy. Tag me.
Dreamy Picnics TX.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I never see the photo, but it's okay.
Oh.
But yeah. I don't know. It's crazy what people will think I'm doing.
Right.
They'll
Why
just
you out
kind of
here?
sit there and watch a majority of times.
Okay.
And,
Well, maybe that gets some future bookings for you.
It
You're
has.
like, ooh. Wait, what happened? Did the ladies kayak
Oh,
up
yeah,
or
sorry.
what happened? Where'd
no,
they go?
I was fully expecting them to kayak up. And then I got a text. She's like, actually, we're walking because it was too windy to kayak. And I was like, oh, man. I thought that would have been cool
That
to
would've been
kayak up
fun.
too. But now I can suggest it to other people, because I never thought, like, hey, people can kayak up to the picnic
No,
or
yeah.
paddleboard or something. You
Well, so you're on the horseshoe side? Like on that side of Brazos
know?
by the boat ramp? Or are you over by
No,
like,
not
Pura
on the
Vida?
horseshoe side. It's by the other end, like the entrance trail to the Frisbee golf,
Okay.
if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so that would be
Yeah,
super easy to
like
kayak
right
up
by
to.
the pavilion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, way easy.
Yeah, really easy.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
like it.
now you know what your next date is.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Well,
Well, not anytime soon. It's about to be 12 degrees
Yeah.
up in this bad boy.
No, you have to do the sunflower picnic when I do that at Western Bell
Yes.
Farm.
Oh, that's a good one to mention because there's
Yeah.
a very specific time of year
Yes.
that works out.
Yes.
When is that?
I believe it's going to be end of May, beginning of June.
Okay.
It's very TBD for
Yes.
these. You just kind of have to keep an eye on social media, or sign up on my website to like receive an email or something. I'll have to create a form maybe if like people are interested in sunflower
No,
picnics.
I think you should because those are so cool.
Yeah, my all-time favorite picnic. You just are Taylor from Western Bell Farm. She and her husband Brandon carve out a spot for me in their sunflower field, and I use their picnic table, and then I just bring my decor and I coordinate everything. And you pay for your picnic, but you also get entrance to Western Bell Farm for the whole day. So it's a good like family event, but it's also a good date event or proposal. We're praying for a proposal this season because
that would be so
we didn't
good.
have one last year, but
no,
because you're like it ended up raining for the one that was inquiring about it, but yeah,
that's a bummer because it's so secluded, like you're in a sea of something. I don't think people can. You have to go look. No, they're
the
huge.
sunflowers.
They are massive. They're not just like the gangly ones growing on the side of the road. These are massive, huge sunflowers, and so many fields and fields and fields. And so, yeah, definitely. Oh, Dreamy Picnics TX. Definitely check out those photos or go to Western Bell Farms.
Yeah.
Their website is crazy.
Yeah.
And those sunflowers are taller than I am.
And then the best part is with every sunflower picnic you book, you get to bring home sunflowers that were freshly picked from the field. Yeah. So
that's also good for a proposal.
It's so
and
perfect.
You save
for a
that
proposal.
sunflower for forever.
And then of course they have their you pick sunflowers. So like after the picnic, you can go pick more and take all the photos and everything.
Fun.
Or you can hire a photographer to come with you on your picnic and then bring your photographer out. Because last year I did have the picnic. I think it was for a full like hour and a half or 2 hours.
Okay.
Normally my picnics are 2 hours, but I find an hour and a half is kind of like the sweet spot.
Okay.
That people really love staying for.
Okay.
Larger groups, I think they love 2 hours, but if it's like a couple, it's usually like an hour and a half.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm thinking for the sunflower picnics, I think it's going to be around an hour this year for each time slot. And I'll have time slots that people can book.
Okay.
So it'll be a really easy booking. And like, I think I'm going to include more things as one whole package instead of a variety of different packages for it.
Okay. That would make, and then you can just be like plug and play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then tweak as needed.
Yes, of course. Tweak as needed. And if there's something like really specific that they want, of course, I will go above and beyond to do that. But yeah, they're so great to work with. Their family's so great.
Aww.
Their farm's great. The flowers are beyond beautiful. It's still my favorite picnic forever. I did it for my family. Like my best friend from college and her husband and then their baby and then me and my husband and our kids. We all did a sunflower picnic and it was so much fun.
Yeah, the pictures from last year are really fun.
It was a little hot, but even if it's hot, it doesn't matter.
It's okay because it's so mesmerizing to be out there and just be like in all of those sunflowers. Did you take a photographer? I feel like you had a photographer with you, or was it just your pictures just turned out so cute?
Well, so my husband was taking some for me because he sometimes takes photos of people ish.
Okay.
Usually for his work, he'll take like social media photos.
Okay, yeah.
But then Brianne Johnson, she came out and she was taking photos for me. She took some really good ones.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Brianne
I remember
Johnson's
one of
really
the
good.
professional like Waco photographers was there. Okay.
Yes, she was there. She took photos for me. I
Yay.
totally forgot. She definitely took photos of me picnicking or like setting up a picnic in the flowers, and they were really cute.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what I'm remembering. Okay, fun.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so all kinds of things.
All things.
Easy to book.
Mhm.
Once you hit submit, your work is done.
Yep.
Because Victoria takes over.
Yep.
You're super easy to work with.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
You know.
I mean, she's tossing her hair off her shoulder, All right. So I think we covered all the things and people know how to get in touch with you. And it's, Dreamy Picnics, TX.
That's it.
That's it. Cool. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
See,
I'm
I
a
know.
podcast girly.
Look at you. And I know you're like experienced now.
Essentially, I've been on 2.
I mean, done.
Where is my nomination for best podcast? I don't know.
Clearly you deserve it. You should have an award.
Thank you. Finally, someone recognizes.
I will always. So you guys go check out Dreamy Picnics TX on Instagram, wherever you social. And don't forget to book on her website, dreamypicnicstx.com. And as always, you can follow us, Boisvert Realty Team, on Instagram, Facebook, and check us out if you're curious about the Waco market. Happy to talk to you about it. If you're wondering about other small businesses, love to be a resource for that as well. Thank you so much. That's what's up, Waco. Have a topic you want to talk about? Do you have questions about Waco, the real estate market, how to sell your house, what to look for when you're buying a home? Send me an email, ericasellstexas@gmail.com. Shoot me a text, 254-447-0180. Happy to chat about it. Find me anywhere you listen to your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.